am very excited to show you this kit from Lakeshore. It's called Meet the Standards Life Science Kit. And when we first chose this material for you, we envisioned that you would be able to use this in a station or centers during your English language arts block. But obviously this year that's not going to be an option, hopefully in the future. So this year you can use this for demonstrations. And so this kit has pretty much everything you're going to need to do different activities. So it gives you these cards that you have different connections, like what do plants need to grow, how does an ecosystem work, how does matter change in an ecosystem with decomposition, and then how do food webs work. And then it gives you different phenomenons that you can explore with your students, and it gives you different investigations. So this one is besides through their roots, how else do air plants get water? And then this one is about ecosystems and setting up terrariums. And then this one is about decomposition. And then there's another one about food webs. So you have all of these materials where you can set up your own decomposition box. So you can put soil and an apple or orange and then watch what happens and have your kids observe. You can also set up your own terrarium, and they've included things like pebbles, sand, and the activated charcoal that terrariums need, so you can observe that and observe plants. And then one of my favorite things is that you can use these food web wheels to have students explore different food webs. So you use the shoestring that comes with it, and you look at it and see, oh, well, there's the sun. That's the start of the food web or food chain. And then you can choose what comes next. So you could see, oh, here's seaweed. I could choose seaweed as the next thing in my food chain. And then you can think about, is that a producer, a consumer, a decomposer? And have the students talk about that. Well, that would be a producer. A producer is a plant. Plants make their own food. And then talk about what comes next in the food chain. So that would have to be a consumer. So you could talk about whether it's going to be an herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore. So obviously the next part of our food chain would have to be either an herbivore or an omnivore. So you can choose the next animal. So if we do like phytoplankton, and then we'll just use our shoestring to connect it, and we can decide what would eat a phytoplankton. And you can talk to your students about, oh, is a shark necessarily going to eat phytoplankton? Probably not. They're probably going to eat something else a little bigger. But you might have something, maybe your students might say a hermit crab might eat phytoplankton. So you can take your string there, and then maybe you'll have other animals that might eat a hermit crab. Maybe you'll have an octopus. And so then you just keep connecting to all the things, and you can see that you have this huge web set up with these. So it has one for aquatic ecosystems in the ocean, and then it also has one for terrestrial ecosystems using a food web for the rainforest. So you and your students can talk through this. You could also extend this idea and make a human food web, and so you could assign each of your students to be one of these spots, and of course you could spread out 6 feet apart outside to do that, and then you could be the one taking the string and kind of taking it to everyone, creating a giant human food web using these two as examples. So this kit gives you lots of different activities that you can do. You could also, if you're doing virtual learning, you can do these as demonstrations, and then have your kids write about it in their science notebooks and see if they have any of these materials at home that they could go and do some of these things too. So we hope you enjoyed this activity.